Your video is really useless, inappropriate, and unfair. The Mavic Mini has never had a presumption and arrogance to provide the services you have complained about. The Mavic Mini has never had the presumption to compete or replace the Mavic Pro. It is simply a drone that is placed in a stage completely different from what you complain. It is basically a toy, a really good toy. In fact, it costs very little, weighs very little, and does not need authorizations, insurance, and drive-in license. It is a toy. It must be understood as a toy, and it must be bought as a toy. I advise you to remove this useless video from YouTube. Well, Mike Francis, thank you, and no, the video stays, but I am going to, however, as I drop the G, talk about my 3 reasons why the Mavic Mini has now changed the hobby forever. Stick around. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. My name's Original Dobo. If you're here, you're here, and we're talking about the 3 reasons why I believe the Mavic Mini has changed the drone hobby forever. Really shitty effect, but you get the idea. So let's just jump into it, because I made a video 4 weeks ago talking about the 3 reasons why you should skip it, and that was done before the Mini was released based upon speculation. Obviously now we've had it in our hand for a couple of weeks, and yeah, I'm really liking it, and many others have gotten it in their hands as well and came to the same conclusion. Trust me, we're not all paid by DJI, I assure you that. So first things first, the reason why this thing has changed the industry forever is the fact that it's so small. It's the smallest drone that is so capable, and I don't have a gimbal guard on here. I have never had a drone that I can fly almost a mile, take pretty solid photos, get great video that I can just jam in my pocket like that. That's an awkward pose. But you get the idea, is the fact that this is so concealable, you can really take it anywhere. And the fact that it is so capable and so stable just makes it that much better. Now, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this because I feel like number 2 really talks a little bit more about the weight. So let's just jump into it. The number 2 reason why that this drone has changed the face of the drone hobby forever. The weight. This thing weighs 249 grams. Now, on the surface, that may not seem like a big deal, especially here if you are in the United States, because we can register a drone for $5, fly it anywhere. We don't have to take any sort of knowledge test, and no big deal. But in other countries, they don't have that luxury. They have to take a pretty excruciating knowledge test, or they don't get the luxury of flying a drone at all because it exceeds a certain weight class. Let's take, for instance, Canada. A couple of months back, I put a video out disagreeing with Peter McKinnon over the new Canadian drone laws, and at the time, I hadn't done an immense amount of research, but since that point, I've done a lot of research on the Canadian drone laws, and the biggest issues I find in Canada is the fact that they don't have as much literature to understand how to take these tests. They don't have half as much as what we have available to us here in the US if you're becoming a 107 pilot. So because of that, a lot of people were really turned off. They may have bought Mavic 2 Pros, Mavic Pros. I bet you if you looked at the Canadian market, there was probably a lot of used drones for sale after that law went into effect. Now, the Mavic Mini coming in at 249 grams means Canadian pilots can fly this, not have to take any sort of knowledge test, and not have to worry about being fined by the government, which is a pretty cool thing. It also means that if I go visit Canada, this would be the drone that I bring because I know I can fly this legally. And I think that's probably one of the coolest things. Now, there are other countries as well that have similar rules, like France, for instance. France, that's the reason why the Anafi exists. It's a French company. They have an 800 gram limit. So anything under 800 grams you can fly, which obviously the Anafi is below that at 320 grams. But this right here would be totally legal in France. You can fly this, don't have to worry about registrations, etc. Australia has somewhat similar laws. But they're just more about, keeping away from the aerodomes that they have. Their rules are a little bit different, and I'm not going to get into that. But there are a lot of countries that say a drone has to weigh X amount in order to be considered a drone, and this thing skirts a lot of those rules because, as Mr. Francis said, this could be considered a toy if you really think about it, but it's a really capable toy, if we're going to use the toy word. Guys, if you comment something stupid, I'm gonna flame you, like in a video. So I don't know, just fair warning. All right, so that's enough about the weight, but the number 3 reason, and probably one of the most obvious reasons, is the cost. At $399 starting price point, this little drone just turned the market on its head. All those drones on that back shelf there are easily over $1,000, which is incredibly expensive. And some of them have even gone up since their first initial release over a year ago. Pretty hard to believe, but that's exactly what's happened thanks to tariffs. Then this little guy comes chugging along and it prices out at $399, and then you get a Fly More kit at $499, which is incredible value. If we think about the Spark, when the Spark was first released, the Spark was almost $600 if you added in a controller, and that didn't include any additional batteries and the fact that you're only getting about 10 minutes of flight time. Not very impressive. This gives you 3 batteries with a Fly More kit, 30 minutes of flight time, so you're getting an hour and a half of flight available to you. Controller, drone, prop guards, case for $499. It's almost a no-brainer. If Santa isn't jamming one of these down every chimney's ass this winter, somebody's doing something wrong in marketing, because this is probably the best-selling DJI drone right now on the market to date. And I mean that. At this price, it's just a no-brainer. Whether you know a lot about a drone or you know a little about a drone, you do know that $399 is incredible value. And the fact that this thing crams all of that into this great little tiny package is really amazing. So price would be the main reason why I would say that this drone changed the marketplace. Right now, I bet you companies, manufacturers are scrambling, figuring out how they can compete with this or lower the price of their current product to try to even come close to this, because I bet you the reason why this thing is so sold out is because people had that same mentality. I know on DroneWorks page, we're completely sold out. We're not shipping until next week now. We only have, I think, the normal ones in stock. We don't even have the Fly Mores in stock. Y'all completely wiped it out, which is nuts. And that same story goes for Best Buy and other manufacturers as well, or other distributors, I should say, are having the same problem, keeping these little guys in stock. That's how popular they are. But there you go. Those are my 3 reasons why this thing has changed the industry forever. And it's going to be really hard for somebody to come back, do a little clap back at DJI, given that this thing is packing all of what I just talked about. Guys, if you like this style of video, sort of the commentary, definitely drop it a like. If you want me to see me read more comments, give this video a thumbs up. I will leave you with some positive comments now, because I think that's really important, because not all of them are bad. And a lot of times I get some really good comments that are truly positive. Like Ping Yu Ting, 5 years for prison for camera drone in the UK. How positive is that? Let's see, let's read another comment from another really happy person. Let's see, this is gonna be positive. I'm trying to find a positive one. Oh, I'm looking for positive. I'll find some positive comments eventually, and then I'll read those. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, stay original.